So this is going to serve as our first ad for this brand new Craigslist account that we're going to create. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save as. And on my desktop, I'm just going to create a new folder. And I'm going to create a new folder on my desktop for this. And I'm just going to title it LA. And this is going to serve as ad 1. Okay, so what we want to do is come back in here and we're going to delete anything that indicates a brand name. Okay. So again, we want to take out the brand name. We can provide you with a full service experience, start to finish. We have more than 20 years of team experience in solar energy. We purchase panels that are made in America and we support our local communities. Now is a great time to invest in solar energy systems due to tax credits and other incentives. And that's approximately. Okay. So this works now as an advertisement for a generic solar panel installation company based out of Los Angeles. So now we're going to say, we're going to create a call to action. So call now for you can put appointment, you can put free quote, and then we're going to input the phone number that's synced to the account. And so what we have to do with Craigslist is we need to come in here and make one of these numbers spelling it out. Okay, so we have our advertisement, and I'm also going to show you there's going to be something called specific location in the Craigslist ad, as well as the license. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some sort of variation with the title of the ad that we're going to put in this the specific location section. So I'll just do Solar Energy Installers LA. And then for license, we're just going to take the same thing and we're going to put licensed and insured after it. So now we're going to come back over here to Craigslist and we're going to post to classified. We're going to do service and come down here to skilled trade services. So this is where we need to create the new account. We have to come over here to Gmail. Okay, and then we're going to put the same password. So what I'm doing here is I'm using pretty much the same one of two passwords for everything that I do. But if the password is different for some reason, or if you need help keeping track, you can put it somewhere in this spreadsheet. So we're going to continue to creating our post, accept, and Los Angeles. So I'm actually not really familiar with Los Angeles. So let's go back over to our phone number. It's a 323. So we're going to do Central LA. And we're going to need a zip code here. So I'm just going to come back over here and do a quick Google search, Central LA zip code. So I'm just going to pull this zip code. And first thing I'm going to do is put it into the address section. We don't need a specific address, but I'll just use this for the zip code that we're using. So we're going to come back over here, and the first thing we're going to do is click No Replies. We're not going to enter anything into this box right here. And so from here, 90012, posting title, we're going to grab this first line. Specific location is where this comes in. Posting body, we're going to grab everything from the phone number up, including this title. Licensed. And then we're going to deselect Show on Maps. Okay. And we're not going to put any images. So with Craigslist ads, the first day, spaced out, we're going to put 3 advertisements, 3 different ads created exactly in the same way that we created this first ad. Okay, and we're going to space it out by probably at least an hour. And from the first ad, we're going to let this, this account sort of build trust with Craigslist for 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, then we can start to put in HTML codes to make the ads look more attractive, as well as inserting images. But for right now, we're just going to put this first ad. And the first ad, maybe even the first few ads, are going to require the link from your Gmail account to actually post them. And see, this is why we use Qzx or Twilio numbers. So 323 248 0869. Is again what we're doing. We're going to do text message in English. Is we're just building trust, and that's why we use Gmail accounts. That's why we use the Qzx platform. Is we're building trust, and then after a little while, we're not going to need this at all because Craigslist will just be. After a little while, they're not going to ask for phone verifications. They're not going to even put things on the email address requiring further action. They're just going to trust us and let us do our things. We're coming into the SMS inbox, and see, here we go. We're going to copy this number and put it in here. Okay, so now we can view our post, and I'm going to download awesome screenshot. Actually, I need to put in here Firefox plugin. We're going to add this to our account. Okay, so now we have our awesome screenshot over here, and we're going to come back over here and we're going to actually take a screenshot. So we're just going to take a photo, screen capture, and we're going to save it into. So we're just taking this entire page screenshot and saving it into the folder that we created for this account, and I'm just going to save it under add one. And this is just for future reference. So we can come back here, return to our account page, and we can see that our ad is green. So we're live, we're good. And in about an hour, you can space it out, morning, afternoon, and evening. I kind of just wait maybe an hour between the first set of 3 ads. And then after that, it kind of just happens quickly and more easily after we've gained trust, which we're starting to do.
Okay, so step number 1 before we do anything at all with this business is to create dedicated Firefox profiles. Okay, and so you can see all over my desktop I have unique Firefox profiles specific to different cities, and so I'm going to talk in another video more about what kind of activity is permitted to take place within these Firefox profiles. But for this video, I'm just going to show you how to properly create a Firefox profile. So we're going to come up here to the default Mozilla Firefox icon, right-click, Properties, and then in the Target section, we're going to go to the very end, make a space, dash, lowercase p, apply, OK. We're going to double-click, and we're going to create a profile. So this profile is going to be San Antonio. And I did it this way, all one word, because as I was trying to make this video, I kept running into an issue in a few more steps that I'll show you what I mean. So just for now, trust me in that if you have 2 words for a city, just make it all one word. So everything else on every other profile that I have is all one word, so I didn't encounter this issue until today. But again, trust me, one word. So we're going to click Finish, and we're going to start Firefox, just to ensure that it's a newly installed, fresh profile. Okay, so that's obviously new. Just going to close that. So we're going to come over here and we're going to create a shortcut, and we're going to keep the same name across this process. So again, San Antonio, all one word. Okay, so now what we're going to do is right-click and go to Properties for this one. And in the Target section, we already have the space dash lowercase p, so we're going to do another space and the exact name of our profile, and then space dash no dash remote, apply, OK. Okay, so we have our new San Antonio Firefox profile created, and we're going to come back over here to the default, double click on that, and we're going to select default and start Firefox to make sure that the default is linked only to the default. So there we go. Those are my default settings. And now we're going to go back, right-click, Properties, and then we're going to remove the P, the dash, and the space. Apply. OK. So now what we're going to do is we're going to continue setting up our profile. And I'm going to have these links in the text version of this training. So you'll be able to access those. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install Foxy Proxy. Now, most of the plugins that you're going to be using throughout the training do not require a restart, but Foxy Proxy does. So just click Restart Now. Okay, so we can see the Foxy Proxy icon right here, and clearly it's not set up. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to add a new proxy. So what you want to do is you want to make absolutely certain that your IP address is in sync with the Firefox profile. So this is a San Antonio, Texas profile. So I need to ensure that I have the San Antonio IP address. So we're going to come over here, and you're going to have access to this sort of spreadsheet that has that holds the key to all of the information that that we use for this business. So, oh my goodness. We're going to come down here. So this is San Antonio, and I'm going to pull up the IP address and input it in here. And for the port, you'll likely be using anonymous proxies for all of the United States IP addresses, and you'll see in the dashboard for anonymous proxies that there will be 2 ports. But when you're inputting the information for Foxy Proxy, the port that they want is the passport. So I've already taken all this information and organized it. And so now, oops. And now I need the username and password. Click OK. So this new IP is highlighted. We're going to come up here and use this IP for all URLs. Okay, so it's already saved in here. We're going to click Close, and you can see that Foxy Proxy is now blue and live. So now what we want to do, task number 2, is, again, you'll be able to, this link will be available in the training. So we're going to download WebRTC control. Ouch. And I just hit my elbow. So we're going to add to Firefox, install. Okay, it's been installed successfully. Okay, so next we're going to come over here and go to Add-ons and go to Plugins. So this has changed since I was trained on how to do this, and so I learned that things like Shockwave, Adobe, Java all needs to be set to never activate, but the options have changed. So what I've done now, and I've not run into any issues, is I set all of these plugins to never activate. And as I said, I've not run into any issues doing so, and I think it just simplifies the process. So, oops. So, we're going to come through here and just set absolutely all of them to never activate. Okay, so just want to make sure they're all set to never activate. Okay, perfect. Next, we're going to come back over here to Options and go down to Privacy. Okay, another really important aspect of what we're doing. This is all of these steps are absolutely essential to ensuring that each profile shows local shows activity from a specific locale. So we're going to request that sites not track you, unclick tracking protection. Firefox will use custom settings for history. We're going to uncheck these, accept cookies from sites always, but keep until I close Firefox. And then we're going to clear history when Firefox closes. And then these down here at the location bar are fine the way they are. So I'm going to leave this open, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to type in hooer.net. Okay, and I'm going to come right back to this, but what I want to do is come over here to General. I think this is obnoxious, so I uncheck that, and then Homepage we're going to set to Hooer. Okay, and the reason that we're going to do this is because with this site set as the homepage, it ensures that we can ensure that we are operating totally anonymously before we do any kind of activity whatsoever on these profiles. Okay, so what we're going to do is I have my anonymity at 100%, and that's what needs to happen at all times. So one of the things, if you've after following all the steps that we just went through, you can ensure that you'll be 70% anonymous. And the last step with that is making sure that your time zone is in correlation to whichever city that you're operating out of for your Firefox profile. So this is a San Antonio IP address, and San Antonio operates in the central time zone in the US. So I already have most of my Firefox profiles are in central time, so I kind of just keep my laptop on this time. But for example, I have a couple properties in a Detroit Firefox profile. So before I would open this Firefox profile, I would make sure that I changed my time zone to Eastern Standard Time for the US. Okay, and I'm not going to do that now because I have this profile open. So again, before we do any activity whatsoever on these profiles, we need to make sure that we have the 100% anonymous go ahead. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to come down here. We want to make sure that everything after DNS is set to no, and that we have a we set this profile up as San Antonio. This is confirming the fact that we are located in San Antonio right now. Okay, and the extended version that I'm going to ask that you screenshot and send to me after every Firefox profile creation, it's going to include all this. So we have all of this information down here. Okay, so another thing that I want to do, so another tool, just to make super certain that we are all set up and ready to go, is, again, the link will be provided to you, is doing a browser leaks check. And you don't have to do this every single time. Definitely this needs to be checked when you first created the Firefox profile, and so we have to have a false reading right here for WebRTC. So this is good. I always make a habit of just saving these sort of things, so that if I down the road end up having an issue, or I just want to double check and make sure that we're still operating securely, I can just access the bookmark right there. Okay, so I think the last thing that we're going to do is, where's my IP? So what's my IP address? So this is another site that I bookmark, just so that I can double check every once in a while, certainly when we've just created a profile. And this reminds me, so I prefer the Google search engine. So as that's loading, I'm going to go over here to Options and Search and change it to Google, because that's my preference. And I'm not sure why this isn't loading quickly. Anyway, again, I'm just going to save it to my bookmarks to have access to it down the line if I so choose. And I'm not going to wait for this to load. I'm not sure why it's taking so.
Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to set up what we need to set up in a new Firefox profile to do the Craigslist advertising. So what we've done is I just set up a brand new Firefox profile, which you know how to do from different training. So from here, what I'm going to do is, so this is a fresh 100% anonymous Firefox profile. The first thing that I need to do is set up an email address. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to my Chrome browser, because I do all my dirty work, SEO dirty work, in my Chrome browser and not inside my Firefox profile. So we just came over to Fake Name Generator. I'm going to take this name and I'm going to input it in the Craigslist spreadsheet. There's no need to have the middle initial. Generally don't even need the address. So we're going to come back over here, grab the date of birth as well, so 9/7/52. And really the only reason I need these is for the email creation. So I always come to mail.com first and sign up. So I'm going to come back over here, Alma Clift. I don't even know if that's a male or a female. I'm going to go with female. 9/7/52. Okay, and I always just kind of do the name. Password, I keep it to one of 2 passwords. Okay, security question, I always keep it the same for each one, or answer the same for each one anyway. It'll end up being varied a little bit maybe. Make of your first car, I always say Acura, not a robot. Images of a storefront. I don't know if that's a storefront or not. Okay, I accept, create my account. There we go. So we have this, and mail.com is okay, but I always use it as a way, as a means to create a Gmail account, because Gmail accounts are just much more trusted by the internet. So it's just something that I like to do. Alma Clift. Okay. Again, I'll shoot for same one, same password. And I think it was 9/7/52. Went with female on that one. Mobile phone number is going to be a call zoo number, and I will go over that in different training. That may be something that you handle on your end, and it may also be something that I handle on my end. I've not yet decided. Current email address, oops, is going to be this one. So when creating a Gmail account, you always have to have a current email address. So that's why I create the mail.com first. 320. And boom, now we have an email address. So this profile is being launched out of Los Angeles. So what I'm going to do is come into a new tab, and I'm going to do Los Angeles Craigslist. Okay. And I just want to show you, this is how I input the information onto the Craigslist spreadsheet. So I have different sheets here. This is the Los Angeles sheet. And I just put the primary email and then any supporting information that I need over here. So we're going to come back to Craigslist, and we are going to, we're going to come back over to the profile. And so this Craigslist is based out of Los Angeles. So what we want to do is we want to find a company in our niche, in this instance solar panel installation, as far as humanly possible away from Los Angeles. So I'm going to come somewhere over to the East Coast and say maybe North Carolina solar panel companies. Okay, so we have some advertisements here. I'm going to come down and I'm going to open up a text document. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look for companies that have a title that we can use, as well as a description that we can use. So I know I've already used actually this one. So I'm going to come down a little bit further. I'm just going to go ahead and take this one. So I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to copy the description. And I'm actually going to enter the website. And I'm going to look for usable content in here as well. So I'm going to just grab this text here. Okay, so in this video we're going to go over creating different variations of each ad. So I actually just logged into the new Los Angeles profile that we discussed earlier in the training, where we just put on the new advertisement, this first advertisement, and it's been deleted. So this is fine. This is normal. This will happen. A few different reasons. One could be that people are just trolling Craigslist and they like to flag their competition, and so the advertisements go down. Also, I'm developing a theory where, so I showed you in the first video that I was just copying and pasting the information. So I'd just take the title and I'd copy and paste it in there. So in the future, I think that when we're doing these at least the first 3 ads, that we're actually typing
these out. So when we're creating another ad, we want to type all this out, you know, we're going to type in the title, the specific location, the license, probably start typing in the description box, so we can just retype the title, and then we can copy and paste the rest of this, because I think that might be an indication to Craigslist that we are up to no good. So again, anytime we're going to just inevitably have ads flagged, so we're just going to move past it. No reason to delete the account, scrap the number, nothing like that. So since that happens, we're going to come in here and we're going to tweak this a little bit, because it needs to be different. Otherwise it's probably just going to get flagged right away again. So we're going to change this to solar energy installation. Can change this to LA. So when we're doing, I'm about to show you how to do a couple different variations of each ad. So we're going to have 3 ads that we do the first day. I didn't for training purposes, but 3 ads the first day. And then for each ad, we're going to do 2 to 3 ad variations. And anytime we vary an ad, or if an ad is blocked, then we need to make sure that each of these fields is unique, because if you change a single character in the title, the description, the licensing, and we also have to change the phone number, then it's considered a brand new ad. So we've changed the title. We're also including the title in the description, so that's automatically changed as well, but we want to come in here and make sure that we change the phone number and spell out a different numeral. So let's do 4, solar energy installation. Okay, so now we're going to come in here and we're going to do another ad. Okay, and I'm going to show you what I mean by not just copying and pasting everything. I really do think copy and pasting is fine after you've built some trust, after the first 3 ads. So again, no replies, posting title, solar energy installation, solar energy installation LA, postal code, we're going to come back over to Craigslist and 90012. So again, we're going to retype in, and now we can come in here and copy the rest, and this should be fine. Licensed, solar energy installation LA, licensed and insured. Okay, deselect show on maps. We're still in that 2-week period of trust building, so we're not going to post any photos, which will be the next aspect of this ad as soon as it loads. Okay, so done with images. Publish. Okay, so we need to go back to our Gmail account. Again, this is all part of the jumping through hoops trust building exercises that we have to go through. Okay. Okay, so this is our new ad. I'm going to save this one as well.
and I'm just going to indicate in the title this is a new one. Okay, and then I can also, I think I can rename it in here. I can rename this one flagged, just so I can kind of see if I feel the need to really come back and analyze, you know, which ads are being flagged and why. Again, it's likely that competition just flagged us, or due to the fact that we copy and pasted all the information straight away. Come on. There we go. Okay, so now this time I am going to, let's see, it's 9:12 a.m. here. I'm going to wait until around 10:12 to see if the ad is still green. If so, then I'm going to do the second, go ahead with the second ad. And again, we're going to create that second ad just like we created the first ad. But while we're waiting in this hour period, what I want to do, as I mentioned earlier, is creating variations of this first ad. So I'm going to create so I had to pause the video, but what I did is I opened up a new text document. I'm going to open up yet another text document. So what I'm going to do is, this is ad 1. I'm going to save this as ad 1.2. So what these are going to be is, these are just variations of the same ad. Okay, this is not, notice this is not ad 2 or ad 3, this is ad 1.3. Because, as we saw, ads get flagged. Our competition likes to troll in, and if we're ranking at the top of Craigslist, which we are because we're doing these ads in a very intelligent way, you know, using keywords and the way that we're structuring them. So if we're at the top, competition is invariably going to come in at some point and flag our ads. So what we're going to do, so we're just going to copy these and paste them. Okay. We're just going to paste the exact same thing in here. So what we're going to do is, again, to make this ad unique, we're going to change every field slightly. So solar energy installation, we can come in here and put, even changing uppercase versus lowercase, this slash could be something like this. So a single character difference changes the ad, and it looks like a new ad, but we need to do that in each of these fields. So again, we're going to come in here and change the phone number. Okay, so I'm going to change this 8. And notice the format here. So we have a space, spell out the number, space. Again with this, you can simply change this from uppercase to lowercase. So this is a new ad. And I like to do this right away after posting the first ad, just so it's all in our mind. We don't have to come back in later on, because tomorrow, for example, after these first 3 ads are posted, if they're green and they're good, we're going to come back into this account and add these next 2 to 3 variations of this ad, just so we have a lot of ads running at one time. So this one is finished, ad number 1. Ad number 2, and I kind of just keep them open all at the same time just so I can quickly cross-reference that each of them is different. So instead of the dash, I'm going to do this character, changing the 4 back. I'll come back over here and do the 2. And okay,
So, and we want to make sure that we just do this correctly the first time, because it's really maddening after you've walked away from this. They're all in the folder, and then you have to go back in the folder and open them all back up again and go through each, title, description, etc., and try to compare at that time. It's easier just to do it right away. So, as you can see, each field has been modified slightly. The numbers, the phone number is the same for each ad so that we can track how effective each ad is, but with these variations, we're just going to change which number we spell out for each one. So we have the 2, the 8, the 4. Everything is good, so I'm just going to sort of put these to bed, and we're done. Okay, so in this video I want to go over just a couple things. I hope that you can hear me. I'm at Starbucks right now, so bear with me. So again, every time, or at least for the first couple weeks when you're building trust with your account, you always want to just Google search Craigslist and then whatever city you're operating out of. As I said in the text version of the training, you want to make sure that you're coming across as an amateur with Craigslist and not an SEO person or professional advertiser or poster. So you're going to click on this, and I want to show you some things. So I don't make any effort to hide my niche, which is solar panels. I love my niche. I'm actually super passionate about solar panels, and in addition to the fact that we are all in this together, and I'm not worried that anyone is going to steal my niche, because that's not a very nice thing to do, but in addition, you just can't steal my niche because I will out-passion you and crush you with my love. So, someone would come into Craigslist and type in solar panels, and so unless they're looking for sale, then which is not sort of the lead that I want to generate anyway, because I don't want do-it-yourselfers. I want people who want the service of solar panel installation. So we're going to click here on services. And actually, all of these, all of these are my ads. Which is why I'm generating leads, and so will you. So down here, what I want to do is I talked in previous training about analyzing your competition. So I want to talk about that a little bit more, and I also want to talk about sort of targeting potential clients who are already advertising in Craigslist. So as I said, from here up are my ads. So I want to come into what's beneath me. No one is outranking me. And by the way, all these ads that are mine that are at the top, they don't have any images or any HTML coding tags in there. So these are at the top, ranking in San Diego, without anything at all making the ads pretty. So if I'm dominating now, I will certainly continue to dominate as I start to incorporate those other elements. Anyway, so I want to come in to this next one and just kind of see what they're doing in here. Actually, that's mine too, sorry. Okay, San Diego Electrical Services. I know that's not mine. So this is super basic ad. They're not using any HTML, any images, or anything like that. But as you can see, this is an 858. That's a local number in the San Diego area. And this is obviously a business person. You can tell right away this is someone in the business of installing solar panels. They are not a professional Craigslist advertiser. So I can easily and will call this person
and, ask them, have a discussion. All of us have kind of our own different sort of approach to talking with potential clients. But, one of the things that I would consider doing is asking him, are you near a computer right now? If so, why don't you search, as I just searched, for solar panels San Diego, and you see that all of these are my ads. I am generating leads, and would you like more business? Would you like these leads? Anyway, that's not a really outstanding sales pitch, but it's just off the top of my head right this moment. So, those are both his. Best deals on solar panels you will find. So one image. You have to know your kilowatt hours used per month. Interesting. Sorry, so I'm not only at Starbucks right now, but I am at Starbucks with my 2 small children, so please bear with me. Anyway, so this is really interesting. No wonder we're outranking this person on Craigslist. So they offer an email reply. So obviously here's some HTML. Let's see what they're doing. Okay, so they have HTML in the posting title. They have an image with text and the phone number inside, which you will start implementing after 2 weeks if you're going to do it the way I'm doing it. So a bunch of text here. That's really good because the more high quality text that you have in your posting body, the higher you're going to rank, actually. I mean, that's really interesting because they have all these images and they have the HTML tags in their ad, and I'm still outranking them with all of my other ads. Every single ad that I've posted is above them. But I mean, this is a good ad. So they have, looks like pertinent, legitimate posting body in here. Ask for Joseph. And they have these keywords right here, which is something that I touched on in the training. Is, if you're going to list all these keywords down here, that's fine. Just don't. I've seen some posters label them like keywords and then just have a huge list of like 50 or something keywords, and it looks like spam. It looks like someone's trying to scam the system. Anyway, so 760. I'm not super familiar with the San Diego area, so I just want to see. San Diego. Okay, well, there you go. So really interesting. I mean, this could be a savvy solar panel installer, or this could, which would make more sense to me if they're using HTML and images like this, a hired Craigslist poster. So still, it's worth a shot to reach out to this person, and if they have employed a professional Craigslist poster, again, same kind of initial spiel as, I see your business is listed on Craigslist and you understand the value of advertising on Craigslist, especially given the ROI, considering it's free advertising. But, if you are in front of a computer, go ahead and search for solar panels in, search for your service in San Diego, and you can see that even though you're paying this person however much amount each month or whatever for advertising, you see that I'm dominating this page, this keyword, this niche and service. So kind of an easy sell. I mean, it'd be really nice if you could get everybody in front of a computer, which most people are. So anyway, there you go. Let's see. Solar Outfitters. I think this might be, yeah, that's mine too. So Solar Outfitters, that was one of my first, I think that was the first ad that I ever put in here, because that sounds like a brand name kind of, and that's not something that you want to do. I realized that, but I had a green ad and I didn't want to delete it. So, again, you kind of want to go through and really analyze what is working and what your competitors are doing in your niche, as well as to identify potential clients and partners. And I also recommend you going through and finding the source code. You know, if people are using a lot of, this is the same person, but if people are using a lot of HTML codes in their ads, then you can just check on the source code and see what they're doing. The big con. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Anyway, so there you go. I am not seeing anything at the moment. I'm going to try to keep this video short, but I don't see anything at the moment that indicates a lot of HTML coding, but I just want to show you again how to do what the source code looks like. This is just a window. It's a cleaning service. Anyway, doesn't matter. You just want to right-click, View Page Source, or Control-U, and then if they had, you know, some HTML that you were interested in, say they were outranking you, or you just found some HTML tags that you liked, maybe some images that you weren't aware of. Because as I said, I've seen like little car images. I would consider in my niche using little sun images instead of bullet points. But you would find it all here in the source code. So I hope that's helpful. And as you can see, I'm just going to reiterate one last time that all these ads are mine at the very top, and they don't even have HTML coding or images. So what I'm doing works. So thank you. See you next time. Okay, so I wanted to make another video about partner acquisition. So the first part of this video is going to center around identifying potential partners through Google, and the second part is going to go back through Craigslist, as I did a little bit in a previous video of identifying local partners in competitors. So the first thing that I did, again, not making any effort whatsoever to hide my niche, so I Google searched solar panel companies San Diego, obviously. And again, my preference doesn't have to be your preference, but my preference is to find a company with a local phone number that picks up the phone right away. It doesn't go to voicemail or, sorry, I am at Starbucks once again. Doesn't go to voicemail, and also doesn't go to an automated directory. So what I did is solar panel companies, San Diego. I have in California right now 2 San Diego Craigslist accounts, 1 Los Angeles Craigslist account, and I'm also building a San Francisco Craigslist account. So I went through this list, and at first I had a company, and I automatically set it up in the Qzx900 backend to send leads to them for free, but this is before I realized how much that I needed to do this research. So I was listening to the voicemail or the voice recordings of the lead calls, and I realized that this company was not picking up the phone, that it was an automated system. Didn't like that. So I ended up on Sullivan Solar Power, and I called them. They pick up the phone right away. I also I've also been doing quite a bit of research in my niche, as you should. So here's a list of top solar contractors. I went through California, and
found that down here, I think it's number 39. Nope, not 39. Here we go, 35. Sullivan Solar Power. So this is, I mean, if you're doing a Google search of potential partners, then, you know, these are the bigger companies that have the ad budget. Obviously, they're in the top of the Google 3-pack. You know, they're at the bottom of page 1. So this is a company that I've identified, and you know, you can do the same and automatically set up your system back here so that your leads go automatically to the company. And I'm also, as I said, based out of Los Angeles, and so I did the same sort of Google search in LA, and Sullivan is also down here at the bottom for LA. So they're operating out of LA as well, so I can sort of consolidate my efforts and send them Los Angeles leads through my Los Angeles Craigslist account. So this is kind of one way to go about it, and the next thing I'm going to do is kind of dive in just a little bit more in depth with the Craigslist advertisers. Okay, so what I've done is in a previous video I kind of went through the San Diego Craigslist for my service section, and what I've done is I've taken screenshots of what you can call competitors, but in this case, you know, they're all listed underneath me, but I've placed them in order here of, you know, this person appears first underneath all my ads, second, third, fourth. And instead of thinking of them as competitors, which they're not really at this point because I'm dominating the service page with my ads, is looking at them as potential partners. So in the first half of this video, I went over how you can identify potential partners through Google, but something that makes a lot of sense is to identify potential partners through Craigslist because they're already advertising here. Now, granted, these businessmen or women who advertise in Craigslist are, I'm certain, the little guys in this business, obviously. I mean, they've probably come to Craigslist because it is free advertising, and they're not, you know, unlike the Google search, they're not in the Google 3-pack. They're not ranking on page 1 in Google. So kind of a different sort of clientele, but they're already advertising on here, so they already know the value of Craigslist. So this first one, I like, as I've said before, I like very much. This is obviously a bona fide professional in this service niche. You know, they have their licensing information down here, local phone number. Very easy to just pick up the phone and reach out to them in the manner that I articulated in a previous video. The second ranked ad beneath all of mine is this one. Again, you know, this seems like the actual professional coming on here and just kind of trying to get their information out there. This person doesn't have a phone number, so, you know, you can easily just reply and email them. You know, I think it's a direct reply through the Craigslist relay, but you can reach out to them if you want, and maybe take a screenshot of the service page, the full page on Craigslist, and maybe, you know, circle or point to their ad and location or, you know, in respect to where your ads are being placed, which is going to be dominating, you know, the first half of the page. Same thing with this person. Sorry, I hope this video quality is decent. I'm at Starbucks and there are people having a conversation right next to me. I apologize. So this third one, again, they don't have a phone number in here. Bona fide service provider. So again, you can reply to the email and reach out to them that way. And the third one is my favorite because you know, this is a local San Diego number. This is a bona fide you know, service provider for solar panel installations, but it's clear that they've hired a Craigslist, you know, quote, professional poster to post ads on behalf of their business. So, you know, the HTML here, decent sized posting body. They have the keywords down here, a bunch of different images, and you know, an image with the phone number in here. It's on the posting body. So this person, you know, knows what they're doing, but they're also ranking well beneath. I mean, this is the fourth listed competitor. So all the other ones that I've shown you are listed above this person. So obviously, you know, Joseph can be doing better. And instead of allocating these funds to pay this person to post for them every month, they could Joseph could just pay me for the leads that I generate because I'm dominating Craigslist. So this would actually be my first go-to, the first person that I contact if I'm trying to find a potential partner on, you know, through Craigslist. I would call this person first. But it's up to you. So this is, you know, just a little bit more in-depth analysis of locating potential partners. So all of this is organized in the back end of Qzx900, and I might do training on this. I don't think it's really necessary because the training in the system is already just outstanding. In case you're not aware, in every section there's this help button over here, and then it shows you a video of, you know, what you need to know to set it up on this site. So check this out. In a nutshell, I'm not going to open any of these tabs because I don't want to share, you know, absolutely all of my personal information, and I've not yet acquired the skills to blur or, you know, block it out. So the gist of it, however, is that you buy the numbers. You're going to search for the, you know, the area code in the area that you are targeting. And, you know, in the numbers section, that's where you're going to put your whisper so that, you know, every time the phone rings before the first thing that your partner hears is that, you know, you're receiving a lead from such and such company. And so each number is going to be synced to a campaign. You want to stay super organized with that. And then each campaign is going to be synced with a company. And what I do and have been doing is sending free leads to companies right off the bat. So as soon as I set up a Craigslist account, you know, obviously I have to buy a number because the number goes inside the ads. Again, one number per ad set. So I set everything up immediately, right away. And I do it one at a time because the last thing that I want to do is buy a bunch of numbers and then kind of forget where they go and things. So I go in and do it, you know, one at a time. So say that I'm opening up a brand new San Francisco Craigslist account. You know, I go in here, I grab a San Francisco number, put the whisper in, sync the number to a campaign entitled maybe San Francisco Craigslist 1, and sync that to you know, a company through that I've identified through Google or through Craigslist, and I just start sending them free leads. And I know Chris advocates this. I think he said a week of free leads. You can do a couple days of free leads. It depends, I guess, on how many leads you're generating and just kind of how you want to go about it. So there you go. Hope that makes sense. And again, my apologies for the quality of this video with all this background noise. Thank you.